Hello, all you beautiful people. Welcome to Temperance and the Tide. I am Temperance. Today, I'm just going to be doing a general reading, really to see what message Spirit has for the collective, honestly. And I'm going to start with an oracle card to see where we should go with this. So I think I'm going to take one of these. When I use cards, the more, I think a lot of you who may read yourselves, excuse me, I do have a cough, clearly. The more you use a card, the more your energy goes into it, and the better the cards work with you, or the better you can intuit the cards. And these are some of my older cards that I have a good connection with. All right, Spirit, what is your message for the collective today? For those who are watching this reading, what is your message? I'd like to take these in the upright only, please. So please send your message in the upright. Okay, that's enough. All right, Spirit, what is your message for the collective today? Spirit, what is your message? I'm feeling one more. Spirit, what is your message for the collective today? There we have it. That's 2. We're going to take this. This is falling. And our first card was follow your own good advice. Trust yourself. Know what is best for you. The unknown, descent, momentum, and change. All right. Now for these oracle cards, I am going to read from the book so that we have a better idea of context as we're going forward. All right. So when it comes to follow your own good advice, there are times when we can become overwhelmed and begin to feel as if there would be nothing better at all than to collapse, cry, and turn in on ourselves, particularly if we've made an error in judgment. This is understandable, and we must be permitted to express who we are and how we feel. However, once Alice has cried about a seemingly unsolvable situation, about forgetting something very important, she tells herself that continuing to cry will have no use. This stern command to her emotions brings her back to a place where she can contemplate what is best done next. In my mind, I'm hearing the next right thing, the next right thing, if any of you are familiar with that saying. Anytime you make an error, it can be helpful to grieve a little for the difficulty you have created. But once you've done this, continuing with the sadness serves no real purpose. It's best to follow Alice's example. Cry, then stop, and follow your own good advice and your own good sense. I want to stop here for a second and say the crying part, very important. It is very important to express your emotions. Do not let them fester. Receiving this card means you know what you need to do. You need to clear, ground, and center yourself so you can contemplate what to do next. This card also says that you do know what is best for you and often give yourself excellent advice, but that you don't often follow it. You are being gently advised to settle yourself emotionally, to think through a problem, and stop admonishing yourself and to follow your good advice to yourself. Perhaps treating yourself like a close friend or a dear child. I am not kidding you. I was just thinking about explaining the same thing. I'll talk about it in a second. Perhaps treating yourself like a close friend or a dear child will help you to move calmly forward without criticizing yourself too harshly for the situation you currently find yourself in. You can change this if you follow your own very good sense. For divination, harsh self-judgment for a mistake or an error made, unmet personal expectation causing inconsolable sadness, a reminder to detach, find clarity, and follow your personal internal guidance system, which has some very practical solutions. One of the things that I mentioned wanting to stop about. I think many people can relate with the fact that a lot of us can be our own worst critic. I know that in my personal experience, when my inner voice in the past has been very critical. If something goes wrong, I'm like, oh my God, why did you do that? Like just very, very, you should be better. You should do better. And yet were my friend or someone, a stranger, to do the same thing, I would find myself very consoling, and I would be reaching out to them, looking at the positives, looking at the, yes, but this is the good that came out of it. This is what you've learned out of this situation. And, you're human. It's easy to make mistakes. So think about this from the perspective of, if it were someone else, what would you tell them? And I'll give you a little tip that I have found incredibly useful. Write down a letter to someone else of who you would say was in the same situation, of what you would say to them, right? Now, when you write it, you're in the mindset of, okay, this just happened to me, and you can't get out of that headspace typically. Maybe you can, and if you can, the journaling worked, and that's great. If you can't, I want you to set that a letter aside for at least 2 days, and then come back to it and read it again. And when you've had 2 days to let it settle, you have a new perspective, and I want you to read it. And that is the way that you should be speaking to yourself, because that gives you a fresh, clear, true perspective of how you would treat others, and the kindness and graciousness that is inside of you that you may not be giving to yourself. So just a little thing I wanted to say there. It came to my mind, so I felt drawn to explain it to you. So let's go ahead and talk about falling, the unknown, descent, momentum, and change. And again, I will do my best to figure out how to put the names of the decks in the comment section, if you're not already familiar with it. All right, so you are presently experiencing a time of descent. You are in between worlds. Okay, I've just been called to another deck. Yet to land, yet to know what will come next, yet to feel the impact of the inevitable moment when your feet touch the earth again. At present, it is natural to feel doubt, discouragement, nerves, and even fear. You have leapt, now you must fall. Soon you shall land, but first comes the descent. You have launched yourself into the unknown, taken a risk, dared to follow your instinct, without the thought and consideration that would have seen you miss the chance that will come to you. But right now, you are completely within the process of descent. I need to read that again. Okay. But right now, you are completely within the process of descent. You may have allowed yourself to let go of people, places, objects, roles, or ways of being. It could be that a relationship, a type of career, or the routine you once had is now in flux. Something has unraveled, and you are moving into a different part of your destiny. A fall can be accompanied by disillusionment, a sense of something is broken, a shattering of beliefs and perspectives, and the inability to know what will come next. You may wonder, just like Alice, whether you will fall right through the earth. In other words, will everything in your world all end? You simply need to keep falling, with no end to all. Will you simply keep... I'm going to edit that. Okay. Will you simply keep falling with no end at all? Excuse me. It will end. There will be a new place and a fresh way of being to explore. For now, surrender to the descent into the passageway to the next life. All morning, I have been hearing acceptance. Acceptance is the key. So if that means anything to anybody, that I've been guided to say that. For now, surrender to the descent into the passageway to the next life. The fall is the moment before rebirth. The best possible response is to relax into the fall. Observe and wonder at what is to come. Now, this was the only way through to the next stage of, no, I can't read. This was the only way through to the next stage of your evolution. So entrance to your own wonderland. There is no new discovery without descent, without relinquishing some of who you were. This is the best way you will become who you are meant to be. The divination is the in-between, the end of what once was, the letting go of who you were with rebirth into a new life, unknown outcomes, complete immersion of the process of change. Two things that I was called to, three things. One, another oracle deck. Two, acceptance is the key. A lot of us, whatever your situation may be, I was drawn to a particular sentence in there, so I'm guided to the notion that for this reading, someone took and it made it an instinctual choice, a jump, a leap of faith, made a snap judgment, and everything is about to change. Now, a lot of times when people do that, they start to freak out, right? They're like, I didn't want to do that. Oh gosh, what did I do? What did I do, right? Trust yourself. You know what is best for you. Acceptance is the key. We fight change. We are afraid of what we don't know. People are inherently afraid of change. Most of us, I believe, are. But change is the key to growth. And without it, we cannot become the people we are meant to be. Without acceptance of that change, the change cannot happen. Allow yourself to sit back, relax, take a deep breath, recognize that this choice, this action that you have made was for your best good. It is taking you in the right direction, and you know what is best for you. Sit back, take a deep breath, trust in spirit, and know this is the way that you grow. Now with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the other oracle deck that came in. It was spirit. My spirit guides automatically flashed it into my mind as soon as we talked about in between. So we are going to pull out another oracle deck, and I want to get just one or two more oracle cards for this reading. We're going to take this both upright, and in the reverse. Spirit, a little bit more clarity on guidance for the collective in this reading. Spirit, what is guidance for the collective? I feel one more. Spirit, what is the guidance for the collective in this reading? All right. I feel like it's going to be two, but all right. Time for a nap in reverse. Spirit, what is the guidance for? Oop, there we go. And we also have imagine. All right. So we've got 10, 4, 24, and 20. Even. All right. And again, with this oracle, I am going to go ahead and take the readings from the book for these. For time for a nap in reverse. It's 24. Let's take a look at the protection message. Are you refusing to see your own personal responsibility for repeating lessons you don't need to relearn? Excuse me. You guys are going to have to just bear with me today, and I appreciate it. But, okay, are you refusing to see your own personal responsibilities for repeating lessons you don't need to relearn? I did say it right the first time. You have to surrender now to the fact that you are the common denominator in all these repeat performances. Surrender, acceptance. Be happy. For this is a wonderful spot to be in. Where you are is good right now. This is what's happening is good. I don't think that you see this way, but it is good. Maybe you do, but for those of you who don't, where you are is a very good spot to be in right now. Be happy. for this is a wonderful spot to be in. You can now see the cycles that you wish to exit. Once you figure out that you have the power to stop going around and round, you possess the key to your freedom. Be good to yourself. It's not about blame, but accountability. You can have the abundant life filled with love and prosperity that Spirit so wants for you. Again, I talked a little bit earlier about how a lot of us, we make these changes and then all of a sudden we freak out and we want to go back and we want to undo it. We want to change things. You know, we're like, no, I didn't mean to do that. No, let me just put it back the way it was. And a lot of people will try to unring a bell that they really shouldn't. And in this circumstance, the message here is that this is something that you have known deep in your soul. I can feel it. This is amazing. Okay, this is something you have known in your soul deep down. If you are honest with yourself, you have known deep down that whatever the situation is, it is something you've known about and you've known was something that you needed to change for a long time, and you have most likely tried to break free in the past. And I didn't get the card, so I can't talk about it, but you have new wisdom from repeating the mistake or the situation again. You don't have to do it another time. If you want to exit the situation and make a change, embrace it. You are being guided to do so. All right. Let's talk about imagine. That's 20. All right. 18, 23, somewhere in between. Nope. We're in the upright. I'm going to read the Oracle's message. Excuse me. Essential meanings: turning imagination into manifestation, creative thought, visualization, the power of aligning imagery, and feelings, creativity, illusions. The Oracle's message: what do you want to be? What do you need to believe in order to have the life you want? You were gifted with the power to imagine. If you can dream it, you can create it. This is the time when your imagination is the key to manifesting the life you desire. My God. Okay, spending time daydreaming, fashioning a vision board to help you see your goals, or meditating. Allow the power of creativity to deliver images of what feeds your soul. Then allow your feelings to mingle with your inspirations and imagine these things being real right now. Then repeat. When you what you imagine will become your belief, and soon you will see these things come to pass in the outer world as if by magic. My spirit guides are telling me that a lot of times, I've heard a lot recently, what you put into the universe you manifest, even if you don't mean to. You can say, oh, this is never going to happen for me, out of a place of, kind of maybe hoping that the universe will prove you wrong. That is not how you're going to get there. I am learning this lesson myself. So Temperance, hi, that's me. Know the positivity, imagining, taking the leap of faith, taking that jump. Open up the world. Open up to the thought that the world is your oyster. I read a book one time. I hope I can talk about these things on this channel, but Who Moved My Cheese? It's like a book I read a very, very long time ago. And at the time, I'm not even going to tell you how old I am, but at the time I was very young and my life was headed in one direction. And there was this saying in the book that said, what would you do if you weren't afraid? And I took in whiteboard erase marker and I wrote in the mirror, what would you do if you weren't afraid? And I looked at it every morning as I was brushing my teeth or, getting ready for work or whatever. And that is how I started to envision and manifest a new life for myself. And I am not kidding when I tell you that everything that I envisioned came to pass. Now, there were things that I didn't include in the list that maybe I might have wanted to, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Open up your mind to possibilities. Be creative. Meditate. Let the universe speak to you. Whatever you believe in, the universe, spirit, God, spirit guides, whatever you want to call it, let your instinct, your subconscious, whatever, let it speak to you. The answers are inside of you. That's why you're here, because you are looking for some guidance. And what rings true for you rings true for you for a reason. Hold on to them. Digest them. Let them be a seed that is planted and grows into a flower. That's what I'm seeing in my mind right now. Kind of cheesy, I guess, but whatever. That's where we are. Gonna go ahead and take some... We're gonna take some tarot cards to get a little bit of information, I think, about your situation. All right, Spirit, what is the general guidance for the collective watching this reading? Spirit, I need to get used to shuffling the other way. Spirit, what is the general guidance for the collective watching this reading? Oops. Yep. Really, for some reason, Spirit really wants me to start shuffling in the opposite direction. I don't know why. I know this is a weird thing, and maybe I'm just OCD. I never do this because I don't want to bend my cards like that. Like, it scares me because I love my cards so much. But lately, it's been like many messages, and I've kind of been called to do it. So as I clumsily sort of go through all of this, bear with me. All right. Oh, see. All right, Spirit, let's focus. All right, what is the message for the collective watching this reading? All right, Spirit, what's the message for the collective watching this reading right now? Last one. All right. Spirit, what is the message? Ooh, all right, we have the moon in reverse. Spirit, what is the message for the collective watching this reading right now? Ooh, we got two. That's too many. You did get the Empress in reverse, and we had the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Got a lot of reversals. This is too many. We're going to keep going. Excuse me. All right, interesting. Spirit, what is the message for the collective? A lot of reversals today. Six of Swords. What is the message for the collective today? Oop, I saw one upside down. I must take it. The Three of Pentacles. Working together, community. Okay, Spirit. What? How many? Too many? Spirit, what is the message for the collective watching this reading? Nope, too many. Okay, the World in reverse. A lot of reversals. That doesn't necessarily mean that this is something bad. Spirit. There we go. All right, we've got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Spirit, what is the message for the collective today? There we go. That one flew out. Page of Pentacles in reverse. All right, Spirit. Message for the collective. That's three. We're going to take them. You got the Three of Swords in the upright. Ooh, we got more cards than I'm used to. Ooh, interesting. That flipped that one up. This one is still sideways, so I believe this could go either way. Ooh, the Hanged Man. The Hermit in the upright and the Eight of Wands. That tried to come out twice. I saw that before. All right, so interesting about the positioning, particularly when they needed to be clarified. and it bumping your Ten of Pentacles from an upside down to a right side up. So, excuse me. Oh, give me a second. Let me take a look here and see what we've got. Okay, gonna take a drink real quick. Take a look. Thirsty. Okay. So we have the moon in reverse next to the Empress in reverse and above the World in reverse. These are 3 major arcana and they are in reverse. Now, overall, what we've been talking about for this spread is that it is taking a leap of faith into making great change and learning to tap in to listening to your inner self, knowing what is best for you, and finding the right path for yourself. Starting on the right path for yourself. Getting rid of self-limiting beliefs. I actually don't see the 8 of Swords on here, but that's part of the feeling I'm getting when I look at the oracle cards. Now, when we look at the moon and we're talking about when it's in reverse, it's fears, not processing spiritual experiences, confusion, it can be anxiety. Next to the Empress in reverse, the Empress in reverse is shutting down and a need for self-care. We are not in our divine feminine, okay? We are not embodying strength, confidence, independence. The Empress in reverse can indicate being overly dependent. It can also indicate infertility in some instances. So that may resonate with you. If it resonates, take what resonates. If it doesn't, leave it behind. This is a general reading for the collective. It talks, this really kind of guides me towards thinking this is, when I saw this actually starts making me think about leaving a man. Being an Empress in reverse can be about being materialistic, okay? And in my mind, what I was shown was the story of the round and round that's been happening has been not leaving because of fears of having a man. It's a relationship in my mind. I mean, I'm seeing this thing. It can be a different relationship. It can be not leaving a job for fear of loss of money, loss of purpose. A lot of people get their sense of worth out of their job. If we're looking at, and actually even speaking about it, the 9 of Pentacles in reverse can refer to a workaholic. So this could be part of what we're talking about. Relationships with work for the 9 of Pentacles. And that can be having material success, but feeling alone. So it's a matter of the Empress in reverse, that being dependent on the work for a sense of fulfillment, but you do feel alone. It's not bringing you happiness. It is not. The World in reverse, and I'm doing these positionally because of how they came out together. And actually, you know what? Let me look at the bottom of the deck. We have the Hierophant. You guys have a lot of major arcana in here. We've got the Moon, the World, the Empress. You've got the Hermit. You've got the Hanged Man. And you have the Hierophant in reverse. And then the 7 of Wands, the Hierophant upside down. And then the 7 of Wands in reverse. Excuse me. But back to the World in reverse, this is a need for closure, follow through, staying focused on your plans, stay focused on this journey, what we've talked about so far. Otherwise, you are facing unmet dreams. This is a turning point in your life, okay? This is an opportunity. If you're someone who has been sitting around for years, wishing that your life could be different. Why does it always turn out this way? Why do I always end up with these guys? Why can't I ever find somebody? Why can't I this? Why can't I that? This is your moment. This is a moment where you get to stop the merry-go-round and get off and find your path. Don't waste it. You can if you want to. You can go out and you can do as much research as you want, but this is your moment. You have the opportunity. Now, I'm sensing the fear because it's under the follow your own good advice and the way it kind of felt with the Empress being overly dependent. This fear is about the start of this change. There's a lot of inner conflict. The Six of Swords in reverse. The Six of Swords, when it's upright, it's talking about going into smooth, calmer waters, right? The Six of Swords, when it's in the upright, when it's in the reverse, is actually having difficulty accepting help or getting away. Like if you're in a bad relationship and you're maybe addicted to it. Maybe you can't envision yourself. Maybe you can't envision yourself without this person. You think, I'll never find anybody. I'll never be happy. That negative self-talk is limiting you. And this Six of Swords in reverse is being resistance to this change. So clearly, as far as my spirit guides and the message that they are giving me to pass along to you is that you are resisting this change. You started something and you're resisting it, okay? The universe can see it, all right? The path to this new future, to the manifesting what you can create, what you believe, what you put into the universe is community. It's reaching out. It's working with others, okay? Now, I'm going to skip this for the moment. Well, actually, the Ten of Pentacles, when it's in reverse, this can be about financial loss, basically. And if we're talking about being overly dependent with the Empress in reverse, that could be something else that is contributing to this fear. And also with the 21, the World in reverse, with this need for follow through of you're not leaving a situation because you have a fear of financial loss. Okay? You're afraid, and finances and material things are part of the fear that you have. It's natural for us to be afraid. You wouldn't be here if you weren't looking for answers and looking to make a difference. And I would love to tell you that watching this tarot reading is just going to magically make things better, but the work is on you. It simply is. This is a reading in a moment in time, and I can tell you what the spirit guides are conveying to you based on what is happening right now. But what happens from here until the future depends on you and the decisions that you make and what is going on in the world between now and then. So you have these opportunities to make change and move forward. Let's go on to the Page of Pentacles. When it's upside down, a lack of progress. Learning from your past mistakes, though. Okay, this can be learning from your past mistakes. So this can kind of be really a positive of you don't have to keep going that round and round. It's amazing how this is all just connecting together so perfectly. The Three of Swords, right? If you read tarot at all, the Three of Swords is typically like a breakup or, just heartbroken, whatever. In this specific deck, I actually looked it up. It can be painful separation, loss, a heartbreak, an opportunity to heal, but shadows coming to light and finding inspiration again, okay? Finding inspiration again, okay? So you're being resistant, but you can find inspiration again. And how do you do that? Look at this line here. You have community working together. You have the listen to the universe. What would you do if you weren't afraid? Look at the creativity. Imagine the possibilities. You can manifest what you desire. And when I look at this, I see the magician. The Hermit. The Hermit is another major arcana card. This is talking about going in and self-reflection. When I talked about earlier about how you can hear things, and when we are honest with ourselves and we know deep down what is true and what isn't, and then that ego part of us is just kind of like, no, whatever, that's too hard. And then you just kind of keep going the way that you're going because you act the way that you act because you grew up being conditioned to behave a certain way to survive. And that doesn't mean that there's something that you're a bad person. It means that you have survival instincts that tell you, in order to get through a situation, this is the way I should go. But there's an inner you underneath that ego, underneath the, and we'll say damage, underneath the layers that have been laid upon you for what you've been through in your life, that you've had to survive, that have skewed your perception. There's underneath that a subconscious that really and truly knows what the right path is, and you have to go inside and you need to connect with that. Okay, we talked about before, remember, not connecting, missing a message about your spirituality. I believe that's the moon in reverse. You need to connect spiritually. You need self-care. You need inner reflection. You need to take some time right now. Now, when this came out, all right, the Eight of Wands came out and the Hanged Man came out. Now, some of you, well, the Eight of Wands can talk about good news. It can talk about haste. It can talk about a message. When these hit, this flipped the Ten of Pentacles into the upright. Now, the Ten of Pentacles in the upright actually refers to material abundance, building a legacy and community again, which is the upside of this reading. That's the positive outcome. But for those of you watching this reading, and I have to remind you, this is a collective reading. I specifically did not turn this right side up or down. It looked like it came across horizontal, and so I left it that way. The Hanged Man, you have one of two choices. Ultimately, the Hanged Man in the upright is surrendering to the will of the cosmos. Acceptance. Acceptance is the key. Pausing, letting go, stop trying to control things. Enlightenment and sacrifice. Sometimes we have to let go of what our ego is telling us we need to hang on to in order to find happiness. And in the upright, the Hanged Man is doing just that so that we can move forward and find our path, find our happiness, find our way, and get away from the stagnation. The Hanged Man in reverse, should you choose the opposite direction, should you choose to continue and freeze, listen to your ego over this spiritual message that is being given to you, the Hanged Man in reverse refers to stagnation, self-sabotage, holding on to something that is not meant for you, and being a martyr. So if part of your ego, part of the way that you have learned to survive is by being a martyr and playing a victim, and that's not to criticize anyone. It is to say that sometimes people can be conditioned to be a victim in order to survive because they can be shown mercy, because that causes people to respond to you differently. But that does not allow you to step in to your divine feminine energy. It does not allow you to step into your strength, to step into the new path, the creativity that you are deserving of. Because we are all deserving of that. We just have to find our way. We have to make our way back from mistakes, bad choices, damage that has been done to us. And ultimately, we can be successful if we learn to go inside and have that spiritual experience. So translations here. If you have a job that you hate, that overworks you, and you're not sure about leaving, and you've just decided to start putting your resume out, or you're like, you know what, I'm done. I'm freaking done. Leave. That is go inside, listen to yourself. That is what is right for you. You are meant to be more than come home, go to sleep, wake up, go to work. Come home, go to sleep, wake up, go to work. You are meant to be more than a cog in a machine. Do what makes you happy. You get one life, and you should make your life that 1 in a million. Everybody should make their life the 1 in a million. It should be 1,000,000 in a million. We should all do it. But only you have the power to change your life. So do it. If you're unhappy at your job, go. If you're in a relationship that is toxic, where you are dependent, and in particular, if it is an abusive relationship, my spirit guides did bring up a message as I came to the 3 of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles in the upright. Community. Rely on your community. I am not going to try to advise anyone on anything that could be dangerous, except to say this: always be safe, and if you need help, get help. Be careful. If it is hard for you to get away, find help that you can trust. There are many organizations out there that can help you, and you can get away, and you are worth it. If it is a matter of ego preventing you from stepping away from a bad relationship, a bad situation, being treated poorly, just not being treated as well as you deserve to be treated, you deserve happiness, and you deserve to be able to walk away. The 3 of Swords again. Finding inspiration again. There's something inside of you, creative and wonderful, that is waiting to burst forth, that is ready to come out, that is destined to come out. It's in there. If you don't know what it is yet, and actually I said that, and as soon as I said that, my spirit guides were like, nope, they know. You know. There's something in there. There's something in there, a little dream that you have been like negging on yourself about. Whatever. Negging on yourself about, as far as like, yeah, but it'll never work. Stop with that. Stop that nonsense. Grab that inspiration. Grab that creativity. Work with others, but go inside and find your power, your inner strength. Listen to your inner guides. Listen to spirit. Listen to the messages from the universe that you are meant to hear to guide you in this direction. You are meant for more, and you need to get moving. Fast. Go do this now. Do not wait. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. With that, I wish you love and light, and I hope to see you again in the next reading. Thank you.